you, you sly dog. You're mine now.
Lestrade! Respond, Lestrade!
Lousy timing, Chief! I'm in hot pursuit!
That's what I'm afraid of. Break off your chase ASAP immediately, Lestrade, and that's an order! We're tracking your suspect from here. There's no need for these reckless antics of yours!
He's the one that made off with 1 million credits worth of jewels. That's what I call reckless antics.
You leave me no choice, Lestrade. I'll dispatch...
Not now, Chief. I've never been much of a follower. So, it's time to take the lead. Now, to put on the brakes and bottle him up.
Inspector Lestrade, I've been dispatched to...
To what? Get in my way?
Inspector Lestrade,
You're in my way. That's what you are. You're...
Constable Abner Angel, at your service. I'm your new partner.
How could you do this to me?
You've disregarded protocol for the last time, Lestrade. Maybe having a partner will keep you in line.
He's clueless. Why, he's not a week out of the academy.
Exactly. He hasn't had a chance to forget the rules, so he'll be there to remind you.
Assign me a new compudroid instead.
No, you put too much wear and tear on the poor robots. They spend half their time in the shop.
May I say something?
Yes.
No.
I just want to say what an honor it is, Inspector Lestrade, to have this opportunity to... Inspector Lestrade?
Yeesh! Even a compudroid has more coordination than you. Just stay out of my way.
Lestrade, I must say you don't seem your usual unflappable self this morning.
It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure that out.
I grant you that. Human expressions can be read like letters in the alphabet. A for anger, B for bothered, and your face has V for vexed written all over it.
Ugh, it's Chief Inspector Grayson. He saddled me with a partner.
I take it this is he now.
How can you tell? I just hear footsteps.
Ears and brains, Lestrade. That footstep betrays the distinct sound of leatherite, which is used on the soles of New Scotland Yard's standard-issue boots. And from the sharpness on the step, I suggest that the boots have not been worn in, therefore are newly issued, probably fresh from the academy. And from the volume and cadence of the steps, I conclude your partner is a young man.
What?
As usual, you haven't missed a step, Holmes. Wish I could say the same for Abner.
You're Sherlock Holmes. You're a legend.
A legend, eh? Well, I like to think there's at least a grain of truth at the root of even the most fanciful of legends. Now, tell us your news.
My news?
The speed of your footsteps suggested some urgency.
Yes, of course. We captured the jewel thief.
Oh, we did we?
I told you, Lestrade, your chase was unnecessary. Meet Linus Beaumont, jewel thief.
You were right, Chief. All the jewels he stole were sprayed with that stuff. What do you call it?
Iodoxide, a mildly radioactive compound which the Yard's orbiting drones can trace with great accuracy.
You're hardly a day out of the academy. You should know that.
We tracked him down to a place down by the arcades on Fleet Street. He was there, we arrested him. It was easy. No one got hurt, and no property was destroyed.
Oh, no.
Keep up the good work, Constable Angel. Study his report, Lestrade. Your junior partner could teach you a thing or two about how to fill them out properly.
He can he? Well, then tell me why the DNA sweep of the crime scene shows no trace of our suspect.
This is impossible. It only shows DNA traces from you, Lestrade.
Sure it does. I was there. But, according to that, your Linus Beaumont wasn't.
I don't understand. Do you suppose there was a computer glitch?
Detainment failure! Detainment failure!
My word! A jailbreak!
This case is definitely presenting some notable aspects. Come, Watson.
You're not getting away from me twice.
I'll get him, Inspector. I'll get him.
No! You're in my line of fire!
Surrender in the name of the law.
Zeno! Donnie!
What? Whoa!
Typical rookie stunt! It's one thing to be aggressive. It's another thing to be reckless.
I should have had him.
No, I should have had him. It's my fault. I'm the one with the experience.
No scratches, no scuffs. The control panel was not forced open.
No internal damage either. It was programmed to open. Constable Abner may be right about a computer glitch.
Perhaps. This device may be more sophisticated than in my day, but lockpicking is still lockpicking. Experience tells us, Watson, to examine the lifestyle of a suspect closely in the search for clues.
Then what does this place tell you about Linus Beaumont? It is where he lived.
It immediately suggests several interesting points, obvious though they are. This street, for instance. What can you say about it?
Not much, I dare say. A typical low-rent district.
That alone tells us something about our suspect, does it not?
I don't see how.
Think, Watson. Make connections in that computer of yours. A jewel thief who lives in a poor district? He couldn't be very successful, now could he?
I see your point, Holmes, but it could be just a hideout.
Unlikely. With his name above the mailbox. Ah, Tennyson. Good to see you, lad. The hottest cyber arcade in town, you say? Interesting. Really, Tennyson, I congratulate you on your high score. But bragging is never an admirable quality.
Mr. Holmes!
Constable Angel, you surprise me. That is not easy to do. How did you find us?
But I wasn't looking for you, Mr. Holmes. I had no idea you'd be here. Linus Beaumont got away and I came to stake out his place. How's that?
He asked you what your best time is on the Riley Decomp cipher. He wonders if you have a higher score than his own.
Gee, I'm not very good at computer games.
Oh, I didn't know. A Decomp cipher is a game. Interesting.
I guess. They didn't have it at the academy. What in the world can that be? There's been a break-in at the Tower of London. Come with me. It's good of you both to ride along. Inspector Lestrade has already gone ahead. I think she may have been trying to get me out of her way.
It can be hard to be a sidekick, I know. I'll wager we'll find Linus Beaumont behind this.
A false alarm! The whole security net lit up like a Christmas tree, and there's nothing going on here.
Could the entire New Scotland Yard computer network be malfunctioning?
If that's true, then all of New London is vulnerable.
Now what?
We're registering a security breach in the tower. Investigate immediately.
I just did. There's nothing going on here.
This is Grayson. Investigate again. I'm not taking any chances with the crown jewels.
Here we go again. Why don't you take the lead, Abner? Give yourself a chance for some field seasoning. Abner, don't make such a production of it.
Allow me.
Nicely done, Watson.
Abner! I'm coming, partner!
Wait, Watson. Listen, those footsteps. They're coming from below us. This way.
Abner! Where are you? Ah! Who's there? Show yourself, you coward!
Lestrade? Constable Angel! Is that you?
Hey!
Lestrade!
But where's Abner?
Inspector, here!
Abner!
Help! I can't hold on! I almost had him this time. It was Linus Beaumont.
A daring scheme to break in through these ancient walls?
Daring, maybe. Clever, definitely.
Thank goodness we're on time. The crown jewels are safe.
It's a peculiar jewel thief we're dealing with. One who leaves the jewels behind.
That's right. We got to him before he could take anything.
Not entirely accurate, Lestrade. This is the central security node linked to New Scotland Yard. The encryption chip is missing.
Of course! That chip controls the communication protocols to the main computer at New Scotland Yard. It's a direct link between the two sites.
Isn't it the same in every security node in the city? With that chip, every secure location could be compromised. Isn't that right?
And look, Holmes, what do you make of this?
Good eye, Watson. This explains the erratic alarms. It could have been placed here at any time.
That's not our only computer worry. I've uplinked my scan results to the central computer. Beaumont's DNA isn't detected. It's as if he were never here.
That's impossible! I saw him! I fought with him! It was Beaumont!
Our foe is a formidable one. To be able to manipulate the very heart of New Scotland Yard security.
I wouldn't have thought Linus Beaumont capable of such a scheme. His profile shows only petty thefts, nothing on this scale. I don't understand, Holmes. Why are we scanning for Beaumont's DNA here? We know the system isn't reliable.
Perhaps. In any case, Lestrade and Abner Angel are looking into that.
I say, Holmes, my scanner is picking up Beaumont's DNA.
Naturally. We knew for a certainty that he'd been here. We saw him here.
But we knew he was at those crime scenes, and his DNA wasn't detected there.
Think, Watson. Do we really know firsthand that he was in those places? We must consider how reliable our sources of information are.
Lestrade tracked Beaumont from the first crime scene, so we know he was there, but his DNA wasn't on the report.
On the report. But was it at the scene? We don't know.
And at the Tower of London?
It was Linus Beaumont!
Abner saw him.
He said he did, but do we really know? Also, that hole in the wall. Did you notice?
Notice what, Holmes?
The stones had fallen out from the wall, not in onto the floor. And the scuff marks on the floor suggest someone struggling to keep their footing while forcing the stones out from the inside.
I see. Not a break in, but a break out.
Or an attempt to create the appearance of a break-in. And by someone wearing leatherite-soled shoes.
New Scotland Yard's standard issue footwear. You don't mean...
Yes, I believe Linus Beaumont is a mere petty crook who's been set up by a far more cunning criminal.
His break out from the yard did seem sophisticated beyond his means.
Quite so, Watson. But not too difficult for a master of computer programming. I believe someone else orchestrated it for him.
In any case, Beaumont shouldn't be hard to catch now that we found his DNA trail.
Good work, Tennyson. You'll go down in the annals of computer wizardry for this one.
let me get this straight. Because Beaumont stole that chip, we have to reset all the central codes?
Otherwise, he could hack his way into the system and disable every security node in the city.
He must be a genius.
Well, we've seen enough of his handiwork, haven't we? How else could he have masterminded his escape? Let's go.
But I don't have security clearance to go in there. Remember, I'm just a constable.
Don't be silly. Your security clearance was upgraded when you became my partner. These are critical nodes, but first I have to make some adjustments here.
This can't be right.
What are you doing there? What's happened?
Don't move, Abner Angel. Or should I say Ned Stillwater. The game is over.
What do you mean, Holmes?
Meet one of the most brilliant computer hackers ever to tap a keyboard. And with the heart of a criminal.
I don't believe it.
I had my suspicions about him from the start.
All the jewels he stole were sprayed with that stuff. What do you call it?
Iodoxide.
You're hardly a day out of the academy. You should know that.
Indeed, Lestrade. If he genuinely attended the academy, he would have known that. A foolish mistake.
So, there never were any computer glitches. It was all a ruse.
A ruse to bring him to this very spot, inside the most secure security element in all of New London.
He planned to reset all the codes to give himself access to every secure high-credit site in town.
Fortunately, Tennyson is a pretty great computer whiz in his own right. He booby-trapped the disks before they could be tampered with.
It was you that tried to get me with that suit of armor.
I rigged the system for one breakout, and I can do it again. It never occurred to you fools to place security around the Yard's environmental systems, did it? It's a wonder what havoc one can create by overloading a few air ducts and heating units.
I magnetized my feet for traction. Stay with me.
What on earth is going on here?
Abner Angel, Ned Stillwater to you.
After him!
No need, Lestrade. Right on time. Activate your trace. Isolate his commands.
Looks like your luck's run out, Beaumont.
Look, it was him. He put me up to it. Don't worry, he said. You'll get some jewels out of it, he said. If you're caught, I'll get you out.
You're on your own now, Linus. Pardon me, Yardies.
Good work. He's locked out Stillwater's commands.
Tell me, Holmes, how did you discover who he really was?
It was his plastic pocket protector. It had a barcode stenciled to it. Tennyson noticed it when he asked about a certain computer game. This barcode was a pass only the top players at cyber arcades are awarded. Once we knew where to look, all Tennyson had to do was check out the top scorers. And one, Ned Stillwater, happened to be a regular at the cyber arcade, neighboring Linus Beaumont's apartment. Why should a person pretend not to know a computer game unless he wants to hide his abilities?
It must have been easy for him to hack into the personnel records at New Scotland Yard Academy. Ha! Grayson picked a fine partner for me. And to think I trusted him.
You might reconsider if you had partners as good as mine.
I might at that, Holmes. I might at that.